changing who I am. I'm making a new plan, rearranging my life, and I won't look back ever again.
You ain't see me activated. You better hope that you never see me agitated. I think about my actions, plan them out, evaluated. That's how I end up on the top, man, I'm calculated. My mind's a weapon, my body is the engine. I'm never second guessing, I just do what I was destined. Cause I feel I got the blessing, persistence and obsession. That's how you keep progressing, I already learned that lesson, yeah.
I'm changing who I am. I'm making a new plan, rearranging my life, and I won't look back ever again. You can't stop what's moving. You can't stop what's moving. I'm changing my life, and I won't look back ever again.
No fear, see clear, you deserve to be great. I know it feels like things get in your way. Push through those walls and the others will fall. Sit up, stand tall, you can get through it all. I need some energy, anxiety's no friend to me. I have a short memory, I don't really remember things. That's how I move on, that's how I stay strong. A new day's on, I'll keep moving right along. And I feel like the pain in the past, it needs to stay in the past. You gotta take off the gas. I wanna feel like I'm a new person. I wanna have clear vision and purpose. And I feel like the pain shouldn't last. If you can move on and past the things that make you feel bad, and you can change in your brain, I'm certain. I've done it before, and man, I'm not perfect.
I'm changing who I am. I'm making a new plan, rearranging my life, and I won't look back ever again. You can't stop what's moving. You can't stop what's moving. I'm changing my life, and I won't look back ever again.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, doing no cap. Only God wants you, better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad,
Yeah.
baby, I'm bad.
I just wanna stay bad, stay mad, chip on my shoulder cause they treat me like an outcast. I ain't gonna take that, stay back, I'll be swinging hard till the hits come in all caps. I ain't gonna lay back, pray that someone's gonna help me, ain't nobody like that. I ain't gonna wait, that's all fact, give me one shot and I'll never get the throne back. I'm sick of being cautious, I'ma go cause some pain, can't stop this. I'ma steal everybody's lane, call it shoplift. Sick of hearing everyone complain when they thoughtless. Taste the pain, it's like candy canes. It makes me go change into a better frame, into a better name. Society's insane, we all live for fame, yeah. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, do it no cap. Only God wants you, better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad, baby, I'm bad. I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, do it no cap. Only God wants you, better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad, baby, I'm bad. I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, I'm living up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, do
What is going on, fam? Welcome back to another episode. My name is TradeFly, bringing some of the most important market news as well as technical analysis that you can actually use. And Bitcoin isn't moving. We are at an on-point level that we have been looking at for quite some time. Your boy has been talking about it. 72 to 74K was my line in the sand, and we are here. Bitcoin currently sitting at 74,790. We got some big movers today on the charts. Siren up 63%, Cass up 11.5%. Hey, things are moving. Things are moving. That is good. That is what we want to see. But you know, the first thing we're going to do, we're going to say what's up to the homies in the chat because you guys are why I do it. Let's get it going. We got my dude first in the chat. I mean, legend himself, Alex O Crypto. What up, bro, man? I appreciate you. Congratulations on getting 20,000 subscribers. You know the only thing we can do for that. Pump it. Let's go. Hey, Alex, man, truly, you're a friend. Looking forward to hanging out with you, but for real, super proud of you, man. You deserve it. I wish nothing but the best for you. Of course, we got the best mod in all of the space. We got Alexandra G in the house. How you doing, lovely lady? Thank you for being here. We got my dude Harp in the chat, finally catching the show. My dude, of course, we got all set. What up to you? Thanks for being here. We got JR in the chat, LFG. Let's get it. Let's get it. How you doing, bro? We got Wayne C in the house. Good evening to you. Hope all is well with you. Let's go ahead and get this party started. Thank you guys for being here today. Much appreciated. First things first is the bubbles. And of course, like I said, Siren is just pumping through the roof. I said it was a 58. Now it's a 63. There's no stopping it. All right, Cass is up 11.5%, Zek is up 4.7%, Meme Core up 8.5%, Hype is up 5.9%, Aster's up 5.8%, and PI getting his ass whipped at 8.6 to the negative. Pepe down 5.8%, Sky down 6.2%, and Trumpa Jump, the old orange man himself, down 4.7%. All right, so that's what we got on the bubbles. Let's look at the market cap. That is at 2.55 trillion. That's up 0.39%. And Fear and Green Index is at 44, which is neutral. But look at the altcoin season. Altcoin season here. What is this? It's at 48. So the thing that we've talked about before, a lot of times what you'll see, Bitcoin go down, altcoins go down, they get hammered, they move exponentially. But when Bitcoin finally makes a move and it finally finds like a decent area to range, like we take that stair step up, which we haven't quite confirmed yet, so be careful. But if we take that stair step up above 72 to 74K and we start to range, hey, the alts can move. The alts can move. They like to follow. They're a little bit more hesitant. You know how it is, man. You'll get that trickle down effect though. But Bitcoin, not too bad, man. It's up 1% over 24 hours, but it is up 6% over the last 7 days. It has been looking pretty good. Green candles all the way up, I think, for the last 7 or 8 days. Ethereum's at 23.33. That is up 0.52%. But hey, 7 days, that thing's moving 14%. Let's get it. XRP is at 1.53. That is up 10% over 7 days. BNB is up 5%. Solana at 95.4. That is up 10%. And let's go ahead and we'll just round out the top 10. Tron is at 30 cents. That's up 7%. Doge is up to 10 cents. That is up 5.88. And Cardano is up 9.81%. So all good in the hood. You know, we'll talk about Hyper because that was sneaking in the top 10 there. That is up 21.46% over the last 7 days. Nice move. Nice move. Let's get over to the news. First things first, and this goes into the poll. I see you guys are putting some votes in right now. We got 7 votes in. Is Bitcoin going to 80K this month? Well, the odds of Bitcoin hitting 80,000 this month just reached a new all-time high of 52%. Hey, what do you think? I think it's definitely possible. If we do close and we stay above 72 to 74K, it really opens up the door. And we'll look at the charts. We'll look at some of those key levels and we'll talk a little bit more about that here in a minute. Let me go ahead and mute myself. There is nothing like hearing yourself just echo through the thing. All right, there we go. We're back in the fight. Fix that issue. Whew. That was crushing my life. I'm not gonna lie. All right, let's go to the liquidation heat map. Liquidation heat map here. All right, here's the concern. You've cleared out a lot of liquidity to the top side. You're at a very key level. Yes, all of those things true. You've left a lot of liquidity to the bottom side. That's the way this works. Price go up, liquidity gets left to the bottom side. There's always a chance of coming back down to grab some of that liquidity. So where is the hot spot if we were to retrace? 68.9. That's kind of the hot spot. That's where a lot of the liquidity is sitting, and that makes sense. You go back left on the chart. Look, there's your low right there, 68.9, at least on the map, the heat map here. And that's kind of where people started piling into those positions. And it's not always going to be all the way up. I know there's a little bit of a misconception. Yes, there is liquidity all the way up, but it doesn't necessarily mean that that's where they really piled into those positions. But this low right here at about 68.9 is where it looks like a lot of stop losses, leverage positions are sitting there on the market. The other thing you can do to kind of validate that is you can go over to Market Monkey Terminal. Now, highly recommend you get your booties over there. I'm pretty sure I put it in the description now. Follow that link. All right, I really don't get anything out of it, honestly, but whatever, just go do your own search. I don't care, or you can follow the link. Either way, get over there, because this they've upgraded and they've given you a lot more access. So before, I only had access to the 5-minute chart. I now have access to the 1-minute chart. Like they've definitely added a lot of features, API keys, all kinds of stuff. They just did a really big update. But when I say it's kind of important to come over and look at that, like you want to go look and be like, okay, well, is there any kind of sell wall, you know, anywhere close to where there's liquidity? And that's always an important part, right? So right now there is some, you know, there's a little bit around 68, nothing too crazy to write home about really in terms, I'm sorry, not a sell wall. In this case, this would be buy side pressure. This is all the way down to about 65.7, almost 66. So that's kind of where you're sitting at. They don't really necessarily align right now. You do see where, like, hey, we had some, you know, sell side pressure right here. Of course, I mean, look at this. I mean, nasty rejection out of it, but look at all the sell side pressure. You could see that coming into it. Now, one of the things that I was looking at this weekend, and I posted it in, I believe, both Discords, my Discord and Alex's Discord, but we'll use Alex's for now because that's where I'm going to end up. So what I was saying is CVD was actually, CVD, cumulative volume delta, was starting to trend to the upside, right? On the 15-minute is what I was looking at specifically. And I was like, hey, open interest, kind of horizontal, but if you see open interest tick up, as well as CVD continue that tick up, let's look at it right here, right? You see how it's kind of horizontal? And then you saw CVD starting to work its way up. Let's go to like what actually happened. All right, so we go back, that was Saturday. So somewhere, you know, around here. And then CVD continued to work up. But look, open interest started working up, and that was key, right? But on Sunday, open interest said, hold my beer, it's time to fly. And that is what we have gotten here. A really nice move. I mean, from what, about 71K or so. Not too bad. Not too bad of a move. Now, you're going to be paying attention to that. You're going to be paying attention to that because look at how open interest is continuing to spike. This is the thing there. Here's the nuance when you're looking at this. And this is what you have to be very careful of. You look at open interest and you're like, oh, open interest, it's going up. It's got to be a good thing, right? Not necessarily. You can see open interest spike because positions are being open, right? Like, so, but are they being opened as longs or shorts? And that's when you have to pay attention to CVD, because that's what's going to tell you the story, even though the positions are being open. Now, what I would expect to see here, if you were to have a sell-off, all right, if you were to have a sell-off, initially, what you're likely to see is open interest dump. Okay, open interest should dump, and that's kind of be your first indication to be like, hey, this might be where we start to see this reversal. This might be where it starts to slow down. This is where we start looking for absorption or exhaustion. And then it's that transition to seeing open interest spike again. And when you see open interest spike again, and you see CVD start to work its way down, all right, that would be your confirmation really that people are starting to pile into shorts, and you could see the market follow, or the market may be moving in that direction too. It all kind of wraps up together. But I just want you to be aware of that. Don't get too tied around open interest, whether it's going up or down. Just understand that, hey, that is market positions being opened or closed, right? Think of it in terms of that. That's kind of the simplistic way to think about it. So something for you guys to add to your repertoire. No doubt, get over to MMT though. They are doing big things. I'm not sponsored by them. I honestly, I have an affiliate link. That's it. Other than that, like, they ghost me half the time I try to talk to them, and I still don't care because I like the product. So that's that. All right, let's see what you guys got going on in the chat real quick. Like you're listening, interrupting at the same time. Ella makes me sound drunk. I don't know. You know what? I'm gonna have to find out what y'all are talking about. Y'all crazy. Scrolling down, evening fam, late. 2x TradeFly for the next few minutes. Let's go. You didn't miss too much. We got Erica Candle Mafia Chick in the house. What up to you? Thank you for being here. Hope all is well with you. Just spitting alpha. That's all we're doing over here. Don't worry about it. All right, let's look at the chart. Let's look at the chart. So here we go. Something to pay attention to. All right. Fibonacci retracement level, you got the 0.786 right here in a key level. This key level, we've been, I mean, literally, it's been ad nauseum. We've been talking about this 72 to 74K. Every time that somebody asks me on any show that I go on, I'm like, hey, 72 to 74K is kind of my line in the sand. All right, so what do we want to see? Right, we're right in the zone right now, so you got to be very, very careful. You already kind of got the first inkling of potential SFP there at the 0.786, so you want to be careful. I would say, like, I'm not really, thinking about longing right here at this moment. You want to see a little push up. Let's get some comfiness up here, right? Let's get some price action up here that stabilizes. That's going to make you feel a little bit better about pushing up here. Now, first stop really is going to be, I think, at about 70, we'll call it about 79K, right? If you do get in here, start to get range and consolidate in that area, 79K is going to be kind of my first line in the sand, really. And if I'm looking at this correctly, yeah, that is where this is derived from anyway. This 0.786 is right here. So you're basically back to ground zero from where that Fibonacci retracement level is. So, keep an eye on that. Let me update this real quick. And this is the fixed range volume profile. Just want to bring that out just a little bit. There you go. All right, so that does align with the weekly pivot here. What did we say too? We said 68K. 68K is where we had some liquidity if it were to kind of, see a gnarly rejection come back through. But you got the value area high sitting at about 70, 71. You got the weekly pivot, 70, 71, same. But then this down here in this area, let's talk if then, right? Because that's kind of how we like to trade anyway, if then. If we come down, all right, and we start approaching towards the POC, the monthly pivot, and the 200 SMA on the 4-hour, you have liquidity here, right? We know we have the hot spot of liquidity. So a wick down to take that, reestablish above the POC, that, my friends, we're looking for a long, okay? That's where I would be looking for a long down here, okay? Now, this may or may not happen. I'm just saying, like, it's got the recipes for success because you have the POC, the monthly pivot, the 200, and liquidity all lining up in one area, all right? So confluence, name of the game. So you got a lot of confluence there between 68 to 69, all right? So if it does, I'd be looking for a bounce out of there. So let's see, is the juice going to be worth the squeeze? That's always important. So that would be about a 2.8% move. And then let's see, can we get a reasonable 2 to 1? I'd say, yeah. Yeah, we could. It's going to be real close. I mean, it's going to be super close to a 2 to 1. It's all about where the wick goes. And does that liquidity, shift a little? Right now, it's sitting at about 68. So if it literally just wicks down, takes that liquidity off the map, and then comes right back up to the POC, the monthly pivot, you're looking for a potential long right up to, and I think value area high is the nice conservative play, the weekly pivot. That's a conservative play there, about 70,900 if it comes down. So what would that look like? Let's get, so if we come down, it's obviously not going to go straight down, but you would look for it to wick down here and then just kind of bounce right there. And that would be it. That would be the play. Now, structurally, what would that do? That still keeps you in play because that's actually just a higher low. You're staying within structure. Check. That's a good thing. So I do like that, actually. Let's take a picture of it for later. And let's see. We need to set. We gotta set an alert there as well. All right. I'll work on that part later. Let me take a picture, download it. Let's keep this party started. Keep the party started? Let's keep this party going. Sorry. All right, so that's a nice little spot for you to look at. Again, you know, we've talked about this. We'd be looking for kind of the breakout retest of getting above this key level here if you want to look for some potential upside, but this would change the bias a lot. I say this really does open the door. If you're looking for some upside potential, you know, this changes things, right? You start consolidating here. I think that really does open up the door to push up to 80K. I think that's well within reason. Just zooming out, you do have that little range there, all right, where you see both support and resistance at that level. It really does open up the door. But again, I'd like to see some closes, you know, above at least where the 0.786 is. And that's, I'd say, you know, above 75.5. 75.5 is probably where I'd feel a lot more comfortable about saying, hey, you know what, 80 is truly reachable. All right, so there is that. Let's go ahead and look at some other charts, see what kind of confluence we have between them. Let's look at USDT dominance. All right, we talked about this. I remember last show, we were like, hey, no, it wasn't last show. It was actually over the weekend. Over the weekend, that's what it was. So I was saying, hey, like we're at a decision point right here, Saturday. We're at a decision point. If we see a rejection from the value area low, I was like, hey, it's going to open up the door for some upside potential for Bitcoin. It rejected right out of there. This was kind of a line in the sand that I was looking at. Like, hey, are we going to reject or are we going to push through? We push through, then I think we're going back down. If we got a rejection, then I think we're going up. That's kind of what I was leaning towards. And sure enough, look at this too. I mean, if you're looking, I know moving averages don't mean everything for USDT dominance, but you can see everything starting to curl over. That's kind of cool to see. And then the trend right now is really starting to develop a negative, kind of a downtrend, right? Breaking the 0.786 Fibonacci retracement level, and it really is just a nice clear horizontal. That is probably one of the clearer horizontals, more clear, because you have this pivot here and then you come back left, and this is where you saw rejections multiple times before an impulse move through. Impulse move through is actually really important when I'm looking at horizontal levels. That's what I want to see as confirmation. And then of course you could see this big wick off of there too, big wick energy. Right around 7.44. Let's go over to the total market cap. We'll look at that, see how that's doing. Show enough, shorty, there it is. So we were looking for a little breakout retest. It wasn't perfect by any means, but hey, there it is. You know, get a little breakout, a little retest in there, and then boom. So that kind of played out the way we were hoping. Now you're getting up to the 0.786, kind of just like Bitcoin, at about 2.53, right? And I remember talking about that as well, saying, hey, that's going to be probably a pit stop just based on the horizontals right there. Let's go back left on the chart, see what else we got to align, if any. A little bit. Yeah, a little resistance there before a nice little move through. So it looks like you got a little zone there, but about 2.52 is probably going to be a little bit of a stop here. And then, of course, you got the top of the range. This looks a lot like Bitcoin in terms of the movement here. Top of that range right there. So what are you gonna expect here in terms of correlation between these two levels, right? If it looks a lot like Bitcoin and this pushes, if total market cap and Bitcoin push up at the same time, right, to the top of these ranges, you're gonna have confluence, right? You're gonna have confluence between the charts where you could see a rejection. So where is that on Bitcoin? Let's find it. That's right here. That's something you want to pay attention to. So now if you're looking at that and you know 79, let's just say 79 for Bitcoin, and then USDT dominance is pushing down. Look at this. Look at that. It's almost completely inverse. So here we go again. Let's mark that. Let's have it on the chart. And then what? You can set an alert on it. Cool. I got an alert. Let's look at Bitcoin. Let's set a level there. Okay. Shift, boom. Got it. All right, let's set an alert. Cool. And then let me double that up real quick because I want an alert down here as well. So if my chart wasn't confusing enough, there you go, more lines for you. But anyways, I want to see that because there's confluence between the charts, right? And so what would the expectation be if we interact with those levels, right? If it's Bitcoin or total market cap going up, then probably a rejection from that level. So how do you think about that? How do you utilize it? If you take a long position, or if you're in a long position, that's where you would start thinking about probably taking some profits. At least that's kind of how I would think about it personally. If I was in the trade or in a long position, you know, if you're not taking, if you're not exiting here or taking your profits here, like let's say you get into it later. Let's say once it starts consolidating or ranging and you think it's going to push up, you know, that's kind of a key level to hone in on. So you want to get ahead of the charts as best you can, Let's see what we got in here. Oh boy. Jesse, what up, dude? Good to see you, man. Hope all is well with you. Are you guys wearing your green? Are y'all wearing your green today? Huh? That should be the next one. See, 90%. 90%. You guys are bullish today. Crazy people. All right. Let's look at Ethereum real quick. Hey, looky. You're welcome. Anybody? Just saying. Gave you guys that one. All right. There's a reason to watch the show. I don't post everything in Discord. Sometimes I just do it right on the show. Look at that. That is a beaut. Almost a 4% move. All right, let's see here. Ethereum is moving a little bit more aggressively. Look, it's coming back up to the range, like everything that we're looking at for Bitcoin, for total market cap. Ethereum's here. It's already reached that level where you had that little pit stop here, the little range. I mean, you could see it was trending down, but still, it's already pushed right back up. So it's actually looking a little bit stronger. It's clearly broken out of its range, right? I mean, you can see that. So this is actually, it's looking stronger. It's looking healthier. Not gonna lie. One of the things that I did see, and I think I was talking about this at some point last week, was, hey, like we're starting to get these crosses, right? On the 4 hour, you're getting the 50 and the 200 starting to cross. And man, it's been running away since. Ethereum looking all right. All right. I guess I'll be done. I'll be done bragging. That was a nice one. It was a real nice one. All right. Let's now look at some opportunities. I think retesting the high would make a lot of sense. So you can see a pretty clear horizontal here at about 2.2. Let's see. I think that's pretty much shot. Let's get rid of that. And we're gonna update it, but we're gonna keep it within the range. So where it breaks out is where we kind of stop this thing. Now, let's do a Fibonacci retracement level. Let's take this low here. Last low before we kept moving. Yeah. So that's what I'm talking about right there. I like that. All right, so let's turn VRVP. Oh, and you got a high volume area node. We be jamming. All right, so this is going to be an area you want to pay attention to, I think, at about 2060 or so, right? You got the high volume area node, really the last little bounce before you took off. That was the call that we had. But you know, for whatever reason, if we come back down and revisit these areas, I'd say there's a high probability that you will see some price action out of that level. Why? High volume area node, golden pocket, and then you got the value area high. So my guess would be is there's going to be some liquidity right below this last one right here, right? Wick down, take that liquidity, don't leave it. take that liquidity, and then come back, and then you start getting a push up. Now, where you get out, that's a different story. This is very aggressive. You got a little gap between there, so I don't know that I would necessarily think about anywhere inside of that. Well, I guess back up here. So what I tend to do is come back left on the chart and start looking at, where do we have resistance? So right here seems to be a good spot. And you can see it's interacted with that level multiple times. So you had support, resistance, resistance, nice wick out of there, resistance, resistance, and impulse moved through. All right, so impulse moved through, that's important. That's kind of key to that. Let's see here. Let's just take it to that wick, and that's a 3.61% move. I think that's realistic. I think that's very realistic if price action were to work its way back down. Right now, looking bullish though. It is, for the first time in a while, it's looking a little bit bullish. You know what? There's only one thing for that, and it is the worst soundboard thing that I have.
Mr. Burgundy, you have a massive erection.
I love it, and I think it's funny. So, anyways, a couple things to be looking for there is one, a retest of the highs. I think that's a good area to look for. Now you're gonna have to see that buying pressure come in. You're gonna have to see the support, underneath of you start to push up, right? And the candles will talk to you a little bit there if you're looking for a nice strong little wick. Once you come down for the retest here, 0.382. Now what's 0.382? You need to understand that Fibonacci retracement level is conducive typically of bullish continuation. So if you're coming back to retest of the highs, right, wick, rejection, and it's the 0.382, you have, I would say, a statistical probability of seeing, potential continuation. You have the 50 SMA aggressively moving up as well. You could see that move up to that area as well, building a little bit of confluence. What you don't really have is a lot of volume in that area. Wouldn't necessarily be ideal, but you could always go back and look at, hey, what's happening with Bitcoin, the North Star, right? What's, you can check ETH on the order flow and the terminals. I put less into it because I still think Bitcoin drives the market, but you can go check it on the terminals as well, or on the order flow, right? So like you could go and you can bring it. I'm not going to do it because it's going to mess all my crap up right now, but what is CBD doing? What is open interest doing for Ethereum? And does that kind of align with Bitcoin? And if it does, that's kind of another little thing to help you out through that decision process of like, hey, well, he's talked about the 0.382. Yep. Got it. Hey, he talked about this horizontal level. Yep. Okay. So you're there. Now what's happening? And when you want to get that little, sneak peek into the market and what the market's doing, that's when you go over to these order books. That's when you go over here, and because it's telling you the data. It's pulling it from the exchange. It's pulling it from this. In this case, it's pulling it from Binance, right? And it's telling you, hey, this is what's happening, real time. Let's go to the 5 minute. I mean, you have passive orders that are on there. That's cool to see. That helps you with like finding or identifying where you have potential liquidity as well as order blocks. But yeah, right now, let's see here. Let's see what we got going on here. Look at this, man. It's kind of, you see some passive orders kind of jumping on. And one thing that I'm noticing too is, look at how they're kind of like following down. They're following down the price action. You'll see that sometimes as they're trying to push down. I don't know that 300's enough to get me excited, but when they start putting 500, 600 right above the price action as it starts pushing down, I've noticed that a couple times that it's almost like they're putting it on top of that price action and continue to ensure that they continue to drive that price action down. But let's look at the open interest and the CBD currently on Bitcoin. Let's see what the heck is going on here. So this is actually necessarily not what you really want to see. When you see the CBD trending down and OI trending up, right? Positions are being open, but shorts are more aggressive. You're also seeing sell orders right above the price action here on the near term. So something to be a little weary of, we'll say. Yikes. Looking like it's pushing. Yeah. And it's interesting, right? Like you saw that divergence. Look at the divergence here. It's something you want to look for too. See the price action, how it's going up. The CVD is going down. OI is going up. Again, positions being open, shorts are more aggressive. Ultimately, you come up to an area where you start to see some selling pressure kind of populate and present itself, and then you get a little rejection. This is kind of how I've been getting into a lot of my scalps here recently, is pretty much just like that. And I've kept it really, really simple. I found that keeping it simple has just worked a lot better for me than trying to get too complex. I'll get around a key level, and once I get to that key level, I start looking for these kinds of things for potential positions. Let's go back over the chat real quick. Let's see what we got going on. Chillin'. You guys are just saying what's up to everybody. DDT, of course, legend in the house. Trench Juice Crypto, what up, man? How's the algo trading going? You built out a system yet? Man, I was working on that this morning for probably 3 hours. 3 hours. I was doing back testing. I even broke it at one point. That was rough. I was like, man, we gotta just restart this. So I had to go back and put the code back in there and then kind of re-get it going. We can take a look at it though. Kind of what I'm doing, if you want. Why not? On the 4 hour, let's see, it's this Trade Reaper. So there you go. This is what I was working on this today. Like, obviously you change settings, you can see like this, I can get this thing up to P&L of like 1000%, but not always realistic. So one of the biggest things, you know, with this, and if you guys have been around for any period of time, you've kind of heard me talk a little bit about it, but one of the biggest things is getting the chart, because TradingView on a look back basis, like, it can't necessarily see the 1 minute time frame if you go further back, right? It only goes back 20,000, I think, candles or something like that. And then it stops, which in this case puts you still in like 2026. So anything behind that, it's then using the candle itself and trying to figure out the logic of your system. All right, so it's trying to figure out your logic, but what it tends to do is it will take the close or the open of the candle, or it will take the extreme wicks when it's doing back testing and looking back at it. So being able to put a being able to put like a 1 minute time frame, like back look into the code is kind of the way you got to go. And the other thing is, like, you could also design it around a 1 minute time frame, but with the 4 hour logic. That works as well. So there's two ways to go about it, but that's what I've been really messing with, honestly. You see 2016, it is not 2016. It's just, I just put that in as the whole look back, but that is not the look back. But as you can see, I mean, not like, this is just what I have here. Like I said, I've gotten it way higher, but I think this is probably the most realistic over the time frame that I've been testing, and it's done okay. I mean, I don't think anybody would be super upset about, you know, 361%. That does beat the market. In terms, the blue line is if you were to buy and hold, that's what you would be sitting at. And, you know, I'm doing better. I'm beating it. So one of the other things is finding something that works with both longs and shorts. That is very hard as well, because the dynamic between long and shorts is very, very, very different in terms of your strategy. So you have to kind of go in and tweak settings. It's tough, man. And the other thing, drawdown is big, right? Like I wouldn't accept anything more than 25% drawdown over like the trades itself. But within the trades itself, I wouldn't accept any more than 2.5% drawdown within a specified trade. So there's a lot of things that I'm kind of like manipulating to make work. Was it 2.5? No, I think it was 1.5% actually. Yeah, it was 1.5%. All right, so 1.5% was the actual stop loss that I was putting in there. It was all fixed, and that's something that's really hard too, because when you move into forward testing, and I know this is not why half of you are here, but when you move into forward testing, it's really hard, you know, because you would have to like webhook your way through to close a trade. It's much easier in terms of the logic to up front just be like, okay, enter, And then with that entry, you're putting a fixed stop loss and a fixed trailing stop. That's the way that I've kind of approached it and had the most success with, is a trailing stop. And that way, once that thing kicks and it goes up, it hits a threshold, all right? Whenever it pulls back, then it goes ahead and it exits that trade. And that'll all be done on the exchange itself by having an external entity inject, hey, sell now, buy now. If it doesn't buy, it's all good. But if it doesn't sell, your ass gets cooked. It gets cooked. So that's one of the things I wanted to try to be very conscious of. It's been, again, I'm not going to say it's been fun, but it has definitely been, it's been interesting. But yeah, you can see right here, I have the little 1 minute supervisor on. So that's basically what it's doing. It's doing a 1 minute look back. That's for the exits only, but that's for back testing, because realistically, that's not gonna carry over into the exchange. The exchange will have its fixed stop loss already kind of in there. So anyways, whew, that's enough of that. Let's go ahead and close this down here. And let's see what we got going on here. Is there anything that we can jump on? 74, 731. Let's bring up some indicators. What about some old chart prime? We haven't brought chart prime up in a while. Let's see what they got going on. Let's go invite only. It's the market dynamics, prime oscillator pro plus. There we go. Let's bring that up. The old Christmas tree colors. Okay. So on the 4 hour, you did get overbought. Did continue to push up, but you're still seeing a continuation of that coming down. It's not coming back up yet to kind of hit its head. Sometimes you'll see that because understanding that it's an oscillator, right? Oscillators can hit its head and just kind of keep hitting its head because it's a big dodo. But when price is going up, you'll see that sometimes. But it's not quite bending back to the upside yet here. So you are seeing a little bit of a continuation. This is an RSI based indicator as well, just so you understand that. But it's starting to push down, or continue to push down, we'll say. Looking at money flow looks good. What else? Where's the True 7 at? It's like one of my favorite things. How is that not on? Blasphemy. All right, True 7's pretty legit, by the way. You can see it. So there you go, True 7 flash there. So that usually is a precursor to potentially seeing a little bit of, in this case, potential reversal. But that kind of coincides with the overbought and the reversal itself. That flash there. Interesting. Nothing too crazy there. Let's see. It's like a market cipher. Dun, 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 dun. Do I have it in my favorites? I don't know where that one's at. Market cipher B. Aha. There we go. So looking at the 4 hour, money flow still looks like it's going all right. Going a little bit horizontal there, but it had a nice little push up. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of just getting towards the top right now, so it's really hard. So you're not getting something like this. So like right there, you get that kind of clear, like, hey, like it's pushing up, right? Like that hasn't developed yet. So I know they have like anchor and trigger waves and all that good stuff, but honestly, it just, hey, you got this big ass bump there, and then you see another one kind of trending in the other direction, with a little bit of a downtrend. That's your damn sign. All right, that's a sign. So, but you can see, hey, RSI and you know, stochastic is just kind of pretty high right now. So kind of tough to get a read on that. So I just know, like, you could see that consistently just stay up there as price action goes up. When things are super bullish, that is inherently my issue with oscillators. Not that this is a bad product or anything. I'm not saying that. I just, at least with the RSI, anything that's RSI based, gotta be careful. All right, let's see here. Let's see. Let's go back to Market Monkey Terminal. Nice little push up there. You know, I didn't have the 1 minute before. Let's go ahead and use that. Look at that. Look at that. Go back to Bitcoin. Let's go down to the 3 minute on that. All right, so one thing we got to mark out is this right here. And let's make that a different color. All right. Look at the fib retracement from this high. All right, so it came right up to the platinum pocket there. Got that rejection, but you're kind of, man, on the 3 minute. Let me see what this looks like on the 1 minute. Kind of riding the 200 on the 1 minute. And you got VWAP down here as well. I wouldn't be opposed to at least coming down, retesting the VWAP, the swing low here. May front run it with the 200. Struggling with that 50 right now. Just kind of setting things up. I did get my ass kicked, by the way. I did get my ass kicked. So we started this account at 10,000. We're up 3,600. We were up about, I think, 48. So I got my ass kicked a little bit. It happens though. That's trading. But overall, we're up, what, 36%? Not too bad. Let's get rid of that. Let's go here. Let's move that over. Yeah, I mean, you're seeing the price action go horizontal. You're seeing CBD continue to go down. Open interest still going up as well. All right, let's see here. So 76K, 74.9. Well, that does make sense. They're gonna have a wall around there. What do you got on the bottom side of you? 74.4. 74, yeah, 74.4. It's right about there. Yeah, that would kind of align. We were talking about this this swing low here, and then you're talking about the 200. Wick 589, what up, dude? How you doing, man? Got to show you what I built. My own quant system running on a VPS in Singapore. No webhooks, a full Python. So that's kind of the next move. Is going to Python, vice having it run through TradingView. And we're already kind of working on that as well. Didn't really cover that, but we're working on that. Been talking to my dev a lot. Retro Mike Tech, what up, man? Said you had me a webhook. You know it. You know it. Hope all is well. Deborah, I didn't give you a shout out. Howdy. How are you? Price is not dropping all that much because spot is buying somewhat. Okay. The plane oscillator. That would actually be a funny name, man, for me. The plane oscillator. I like it. Okay. Yeah, dude. I'll be looking for the DM. And here we go. Getting a little move. I was thinking about jumping on that too. I started like setting it up. Let me look at the heat map on the lower time frames. Okay, that looks interesting. It's not the way it usually looks. That's a little better. So you do have some liquidity at 72.9. At least on the daily. I don't think I'd be looking that far down, honestly. Oh, well. Damn, there it goes. We were literally just talking about it. Come back down to the 200. Oh, man. Sleeping at the wheel. That's what, literally just talked about this. Hey, like here's the VWAP coming back down to that level and then front run it with the 200. There it is. Live and in color. I didn't take it though. Dang. Sleeping at the wheel, man. But this was the concern. You see CBD continuing to work down, right? That's relatively clear. Divergence between the price action and CBD. Get a nice little bounce there, but that could just be, I mean, honestly, nothing. Dang. That would have been probably a nice little trade. What was that move? 1/4% or so? Yeah, about 1/4%. All good. Let me zoom out just a little bit, see where kind of the high volume areas are. So it really starts to build up. Really below. So I think it's still on the table, honestly, because you know that you have some volume down here. You also have some liquidity sitting down there. What do we say? Let me go back to that real quick. 72.9. That might be way down, huh? 72.9 is... It does a line where you do see some orders on the book, some passive orders, not much. It's a little far though. Little far, yep, here we go. Coming back down, that's why I said I don't know if that bounce meant anything. Still seeing a continuation in terms of CBD open interest. Sauce has been bought. All right, let's see. Yo, you got any 411 and why all these military aerial vehicles are flying over my Pensacola abode? No. I know nothing. I say nothing. That's my life. Can't even take my phone to where I go, man. Let's see here. All right, I'm going dark. Y'all go easy. Take care, man. It's good to see you, bro. Hope all is well with you. All right, well, I missed that one live, of course. Let's look at quick look at Cardano. Of course, exponential. Let's see. 1 minute. That's a little aggressive. Let's zoom out a little bit. See what we got going on here. So it's sitting on top of the value area high right now. Let's move that out. That's where you have going to be an area of resistance and some liquidity sitting up there. There's no doubt about that. That's what this little shaded box is. So if you do get a push up, you know, that's probably where I would look to, you know, take some profits or look for a little bit of reversal. Not saying it's the end all be all, right? But if you took something, you know, from down at the POC and you've made your way up, honestly, I would have personally, value area high would have been where I was like, yeah, I'm good. But here nor there, that's kind of your next like stop. That's your next line in the sand, I think, for Cardano. That's sitting at about 30 cents. 30 cents. But you are sitting on top of the value area high right now. It got a high volume area node. That's good. That's good. It's just got to hold. Nothing too crazy there. You're seeing, look at this, man. You're seeing the curvature. You're about to get that cross of the 50 and the 200. I don't know, man. Like, it doesn't look. I mean, this is the start of what you want to see. That's about what I say. I don't want to get like confident or overly bullish or any of that. But this is a start. It's a start. That's what we'll say. You start getting above here though, where the kind of the top of this range is, you start consolidating and ranging above that, you feel a lot better about your situation. And I think then at that point, your next move is up here to 33 cents. And that's all you can do is just stair step this. Like, that's kind of the big difference with me, I'd say, than some others. I know some kind of go full retard really quick. But I kind of like to stair step my approach to be like, hey, if this happens, then we're looking for this. If this happens, then we'll look for this. We'll take this one day at a time. Because it's not like it used to be where you get these 30%, you know, moves in a day. Like, it's just not like that anymore. So, you know, except for October 10th when it dumped. That was just insane. You know what the crazy part is October 10th? That's my wife's birthday. Yeah. So she's bad juju. But yeah, that's your high volume area node. It's in about 35 cents. But really, I think your stop is probably going to be, you can see it actually. It's right there. It's kind of behind that green line. 33 cents. It's kind of where I'd start looking at things and be like, this is probably where I'd exit positions. Unless you're trying to hold it for a long time. And that's a completely different ballgame. But if you bought down here, if you got in, hey, at this yellow line or something like that, and you want to hold it, then, I mean, the conservative thing to do would be exit here at the shaded area around 30 cents. But I think 33 cents is well within play. As long as we maintain above the value area high and high volume area node. I mean, obviously you're going to have to push through this as well. But I think it's very realistic at this point, if we maintain those levels, or the current level, to see it push up to 33 cents. I think that's well within play, well within reason. Don't know that it's going to happen. AVAX with a nice little push up. Thank the Lord, baby Jesus, because I got some AVAX. We're getting back to the call spaces here. $10.87. That's good to see. I got some. I'm holding some AVAX. So would love to see it get back up there. Yes, I have been in the hole. I have been under. I keep it open and transparent. I don't BS you. If I'm losing, I'm losing. If I'm winning, I'm winning. But right now, AVAX needs to keep on pushing. But looking good. Looking good. It is actually getting above. So this looks... what else did we look at? It was Ethereum. Ethereum was looking a little bit more bullish. You can see the difference between Cardano and AVAX right now. AVAX is getting... See this? This previous little range before it actually really developed into a range? Really short-lived, right? But it's already pushed above that, and it's trying to retest it, looking for that continuation back on up. That would be quite nice. You've already gotten the cross on the 50 and the 200 for AVAX, so that's looking good. Not a whole lot of volume in here. Not a whole lot of volume. So a nice push up. Come on, AVAX. Push up for daddy. I think you probably actually find some resistance right about where the cost basis is, just based on this little one. But you can see this is a lot more distinct in terms of horizontals at 11.21. Yeah, 11.25. That's a lot more distinct. And really your high volume area node is at about 12.38. But again, this is a step in the right direction, but we have been here before. Just come back left on the chart. You got the cross, got a nice push up, lost it, recross to the downside, and down she goes. So hopefully this is not what we're seeing again. But again, I fully expect it. Q3 of this year is, where we probably see that turnaround. And with everything that's going on in the world as well, it starts to make a lot more sense, to be honest. You going to the conference next month? Yes, sir, I am. I will be there. But I'm not going any kind of crazy stuff. I literally got a Gen Pop ticket. I didn't even try to get any of the media pass or any of that stuff, man. I'm just going low key. I'm gonna go out there for just a couple nights. I only go there to network and talk to people anyways. I don't go to watch any of the stuff, but yeah, I'll be out there, man. So we'll link up. We'll have a beer. All right, 12:58. Let's see. We'll look at Solana right quick. We got something for that. Nice little push for Solana, and look at that. And right down to the bottom, that's where it got its rejection. And you know what we got to do. All right. So that's basically back to that buy zone, which means what? Probably going to be resistance. So if you get above that though, if you establish above, I'd say pretty much where it got rejected at about 97.24, 105, it's going to be easy peasy. And that's probably what I would look for, honestly, is if then, right? Like you get above and you see a little something like this, come for the retest, see that buying pressure come in, right? Get a nice little wick off of that. Then I think 105 is easy peasy for Solana. But you're looking for that retest here. Retest the high. Got this right here as well, right? Support, impulse move through. But that's where you would look. You don't want to buy here. That's kind of silliness. Let it push through. Let you get a little confirmation that we're going to continue this push up. Let it pull back, and then you take that retest up to about 105. Whereas that's really where I see, your next little bit of resistance there. What do we got going on here? Oh, so we came right down to the 0.786 on the macro. That's interesting. Funny enough, bottom of the golden pocket, even though that's not the way this should be utilized, it actually aligns with the bottom of that little range, or the top of that range there. So, but again, I think, yeah, push up to 105 would make a lot of sense if we push through this current range here. Or zone is probably the better use of words. Words, they mean things. Gnarly retracement though, man. Good lord. That was up in what, was it like 300? Close to 300? Not gonna lie, man. Like, if you would have said it throughout the year that it could have went down here, I was like, yeah, okay, that's reasonable. But the aggressiveness of it moving down to where it did at $70, I wouldn't have bet on that, to be honest. Amy Lives Crypto. What's up, lady? How are you? Thank you for being here. Hope all is well with you. All my favorite people in one spot. Say it ain't so. Love it. So yeah, that's kind of, like I said, I think once it breaks above, you know, $97, I think that would make a lot of sense. So I'm looking for that retest for a continuation up to 105 for Solana. Let's look at if it were to pull back from this level, right? Because that is very much a play. Because what have you done, right? This is one of the things, is like understanding what have you done. And so you see this level is highlighted. Yes, it's highlighted because it was a buy zone, which had turned into resistance. But what have we just done? Well, what we just did right now is we've taken on the liquidity that has developed over top of this range, right? So rejection, 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 rejection. What does that mean? Stop losses, liquidation levels are all above these candles right here, right? So there's liquidity sitting in this zone. What have we done? We've pushed up into that liquidity right now. So it's kind of like game time, decision time for Solana, knowing that you've just taken that liquidity. Are we now going to take kind of like that PO3 concept where you have accumulation into manipulation and then into distribution? The thing that you do kind of have you working for you is you are above the 50 SMA, at least on the daily. That's significant. And you are above high volume area node, right? So even if we were to get this pushed down, let's get that out of the way. And let's get this off of here, clouding it up, right? But let's do a fib retracement level from this swing low to the current high. And this is an assumption, all right? It's just an assumption. But what I want you to see, the important part of this, is that look where the golden pocket is. Look where the 50 is. It's still kind of pushing down. It's going to go horizontal, and that might front run in a little bit. But your high volume area node, your golden pocket, and POC right now. Let's see. Let's update it. Let's update it. I don't want to incorporate all of it though. That's important. Dude, updating this is a pain in the booty sometimes. All right, there you go. All right, so you're pretty close to the POC as well. Ain't perfect. It aligns with a high volume area node. That makes sense. But you also have the golden pocket, right? So like there's definitely a little bit of confluence in that area when you're looking at about $85 to $86, $87, where you can see a nice little pullback to the area and then see a bounce, right? One last time, one last push down, you know, scare people, and then you get that push up. That's definitely, I think, in play. So that's kind of the if then. You know, if this happens, if you see the breakout, look for the retest, and then that you could take a continuation trade up to 105. And if you don't, if you get the rejection, then you are looking for, you know, the scary thing is you could look for distribution. And if you really truly get that concept where it's accumulation, manipulation, distribution, then you would actually, you know, likely go back down, you know, a little further. But I think you have some confluence to kind of hold you up, prop you up for a bounce at a minimum. And again, that kind of lies at about 85 to about 87, I think, for Solana. We don't talk lower until we break this. All right, what are we at? 105. 105. TradeFly bringing everybody together. I don't know about that, but I'm glad you guys are here. Makes me happy. See all the homies. My dude Harp's been MIA for like a month. I was like, is he even like me anymore? All right. Let's look back at Bitcoin real quick. There it is, man. Smacked on that VWAP. So we missed this one. We talked about it. We saw it. We didn't jump on it. I was sleeping at the wheel. Getting your VWAP slap though right now. Now let's come back over to Market Monkey Terminal. Let's look at the CBD. Nah. No. Let's go to 1 minute. Nope. Yep. I would not take that VWAP, it's enticing to take a bounce off of VWAP, but like this is kind of my trigger, right? Let's see, 74.1. All right, you are seeing some orders, passive orders there at about 74.1. But you know, I don't like seeing CBD right now, and that continuation. That doesn't make me feel too good about getting a bounce, even though we have a pretty distinct level. So you have VWAP here, and you have this little swing low where you had support where it bounced, and that was all sitting at the same level at about 74.3. We did a fib retracement as well. Let's go back to the chart real quick. All right, so high into the low. Let's go ahead and get that going. It is the 0.382. I'm to the 0.382, so you got the VWAP 0.382, but I don't know. That's kind of like the end of your like volume as well. It's like bounce here, forever hold your peace, bro. Coming back left, you do have resistance as well, so there is a pretty clear horizontal. This could be a retest of that. I still want to see CBD kind of turn around though. Give me something. It's kind of like my, you know, you'll hear me say this a lot. It's kind of like my trigger. All right, so like we have these, we identified something. Okay, cool. We identified VWAP 0.32, you know, a horizontal here. We've identified something. Okay, where there's a little bit of confluence in an area. Cool, we got a line to look at. But that being said, now is the market telling us what we want to know. And for me, this is like my last little sanity check. You know, does the market agree with me? And the market right now is telling me, pump your brakes, man. Don't be silly right here. So I mean, this obviously can bounce. It can get quite aggressive sometimes, especially on the 5-minute. Let's see here. Let's get a little granular. It's still doesn't do it for me. Open interest still trending up, and CBD aggressively trending down. That's just not something that I want along. So I'm gonna hold off. I'm gonna play it smart. What year is 2024? Is 2024 the year that we met? Maybe. Trying to think. When did we meet, Wick? Down in Nashville. What year was that? I gotta think now. So 2025, last year was Vegas. So was it 2024? Was that Nashville? I think it was. I think 2024 is when I met everyone IRL. Buried and Mac Mike dropping the otters in the chat. What up, man? Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Busy times. I catch early morning shows and barely make it for LBC at night. It's all good, dude, man. I'm just giving you grief, dude. You're one of my OGs. Shit, I can't even get Squid to show up anymore. Watch him pop in the chat now. Squid's actually one of the first, one of my first followers. Or subscribers, I guess. Alright, so you are getting a little bit of a bounce right now. But still, like, if you're looking at the trend, CBD, still don't like it. Hey, if you guys don't mind, please little like and subscribe time. I would appreciate that. I know whoever's talking in the chat, you're subbed already, but if you haven't liked it, I would appreciate that. And small pitch for 2-bit because I'm getting my ass kicked on that as well. Let's see, where's that one at? There you go. Save yourself 20% on your trading fees. Use my code TFSAVE20. Again, I can save you 20% on your trading fees. That adds up quite a bit. Quite a bit. That link is down in the description. Help a homie out. We are actually, I'm figuring out what I'm gonna do. I'll actually ask you guys this. Here we go. Let's end this poll. Let's see what you guys got right here, because this is actually an important question. So for trading, trading rewards, I don't know if I'm phrasing this correctly, but would you prefer cash or merch / iPhone? That's one of the things they're proposing right now. So I'll put cash money and merch iPhone. See what you guys got. So the way they're trying to structure it, let me see if I can find it here. Actually gotta find the chat. So I want to tell you guys how they're structuring it. All right, so one of them is by trading volume. So for every $200,000 of trading volume, they're just gonna give you $50. And remember, you're saving 20% on your fees too, right? That doesn't go away. That's perpetual. I give you guys that from Jump Street. So you get $50 for every 200,000. It's per day too. So it's like if you do $200,000 in a day, they just give you $50. And they do that for, it looks like up to 10 days. Up to 10 days. So what is that? 5 times 10, that would be $500. So you get $500 out of that. Or they do a trade challenge. Let's read this one. So we can do a merch giveaway, iPhone. So you get $10 trial fund. And then if you deposit 200, you get 20, 500, you get 60. If you deposit 1,000, you get 150. You deposit 5,000, you get 750 USDT. For me, I like that better because I just put the money in there, right? Where's my money? I didn't get any money when I put mine in there. I got robbed. All right, trade challenge. So that's crazy. Some of those numbers. If you trade more than 150,000 in volume, you get 30 USDT. 500 would give you 8 million, which that's about what I do in a month. Is 800 USDT. I want to be part of this. Let's see. Trade, and then, yeah, I'm not going to read the other ones. I mean, you can get up to $8,000 USDT, but you got to trade over 60 million. I don't think I got any whales in here, so if I do, please, love of God, come on and trade under 2-bit. That would be great. But you get $8,000 is one of them. So I have to choose. And I think with that one, they can do merch and an iPhone giveaway. Now, I understand the iPhone, the value of that exceeds, I'd say, the trial funds, but I guess that's like a sure thing for you guys. I'd have to figure out like at what point would an iPhone, like, are you guys competing against each other? Not very clear on that. So I'll figure those things out, but let's see what you guys got. Looks like you guys are 67% cash money. I think that's pretty achievable too. Like some of these numbers on here, like I don't think most of you guys are gonna trade like $4 to $8 million. So why not 200,000? That's pretty easy to do. Let me see. I'm trying to think of the different ways to get you to 100,000. Yeah, none of it's real safe though. But I think it's very achievable. I can put personally probably like $1 mil to $2 mil in volume in a day. So I think it seems realistic for you guys. I have to do more math on that. But what is it? 10K 10x leverage, right? That's 100. So maybe not. Maybe it's not as achievable as I think. Because then you'd have to do some real degen type stuff. I'm not sure I'm a big proponent of that. Because you would have to do what, $1,000 bucks at like 100x leverage just to get to 100K, right? Like that's kind of banana land. That's some real degen stuff. Times 100x, right? Yeah, nah. Oh, it's 1,000. So 1,000 at 100x leverage. So that's a little tight. It's a little tight. You would have to do some trading. If you guys really want to get those rewards, you'd have to do some trading, no doubt about it. See, that's when these bots and stuff, all the automation, that's when it'll really help out. Because we get into the bots where things are just like kind of trading consistently. That'll build some volume. I had a bot one time I was using it back when 3 commas was a thing. I think it's still a thing, but I would never use it. It was trading like probably like 30 some times a day. But when I had to do my taxes, you want to talk about miserable? That was not fun. This is a pretty, like, as I zoom out, which I wasn't doing a good job at, this is a very clear horizontal right here. Sometimes you're looking through the soda straw, I say. Pretty clear horizontal where we're at right now. Let's take, where'd that take you to, the 0.5? Go back to CBD. Yeah, I mean, that's still not, you're not even getting a higher high on the CBD. Now, one of the things you are starting to see is open interest start to kind of bend over. Go horizontal. Now, this is interesting. Now, again, don't correlate it to price. Don't correlate it to price. So it's going horizontal, but you're still seeing a continuation in CBD. What you could see here, this would be kind of the nail in the coffin for me. Because you've seen CBD, look at how it's been going down and open interest has been going up, right? No bueno. If you see open interest just bend over, what that means is that people that were in these trades kind of working its way up as it's pushed up, they're actually exiting. They're going to be taking profits. Doesn't really necessarily mean anything with shorts being more aggressive, which they're clearly being right here. So open interest, bending over, starting to move to the downside. These people could be closing their trades, and then you might really see some acceleration there, at least enough to push through. But right now you do have a pretty clear horizontal that's kind of holding you up. Again, not something I would have taken, just only because the market wasn't giving me the same vibe, right? Like that's just too much going down into an area. I mean, yeah, like if you wanted to jump on that, like purely just because you're looking at the line, that may have played out for you. You're like, oh, cool, I have a clear horizontal. I'll just jump on it. Yeah, you could have, but like, what really was your basis besides just having a horizontal? So yeah, you got an initial reaction there, cool. But I mean, on the 1 minute, if you're looking at that, you got confluence between the 200 to 50 SMA, horizontal as well, right sitting at about 74.5. That's not something I want to flirt with personally. Retracement from there to there, and 0.382, so kind of opposite effect, right? If you take your fib retracement from here, swing high to low, and that now has confluence between the 50 and the 200 SMA on the 1 minute. I know it's only the 1 minute, but things can still work on shorter time frames. Plus you have CVD working down. I would say right here, it's just not a spot I want to take along. Really what it comes down to. For me, you're gonna have to break 74.5 to feel any kind of good about jumping in along or thinking about along. And you're gonna go over to the order book and you want to see CVD starting to work its way up as well. So if you see a higher high, right, it is going horizontal, but if you start seeing it set higher highs here for CVD in particular, that'll make you feel a little bit better. So that's kind of two things to look for there. Breaking where the 0.382 is at about 74.5, breaking the moving averages, and then coming on over to CVD, and you want to see that start to set higher highs as a confirmation. There he is. Squid's in the house now. He must have heard me talking S. Newer traders should get into directional grid trading. Will help newer traders a lot, in my opinion. Grid trading, longs and shorts. Yeah, one of the things that I was thinking about with that is, because I don't do grid trading. I don't really mess with it all that much. But, what does that do in terms of volume? And I think that would count for the volume, but that's one of the things I need to ask, because it's not, I was thinking about that today, but like, you know what, like I usually identify pretty decent levels and pretty okay, which is at least identifying the trend, right? Very, I'd say somewhat basic stuff. Oh, you're getting a little pop now. Talk about telling me to shut up, huh? Look, I was like, hold my beer. Said I wouldn't take a long here. What's it do? Pop. There you go. Nice little impulse move through. That happened quick. Look at it go. Look at it go. Yeah, because that would be, because it continues to buy as the price is moving up. I'm just trying to find ways. I got to find ways to kind of like build up volume. That's part of my deal with 2-bit, right? You got to have volume. Otherwise, they'll stop paying me. One minute. I want to look at market cipher real quick. I'm always interested sometimes to look at some of these oscillators just to see, like, was there anything that really keyed you in? Let's see, invite only. Okay. So maybe a little bit. Not real big on, like, again, anchor, trigger waves, all that stuff, but I say fat wave, little wave, you know, that's here to here. That's one of the things that I've noticed that kind of seems to work for me. That's a nice little move. So this looks like it was just grabbing the liquidity that was right there. Let's go 3 minute. Not really as clear on the 3 minute. House of Trades, what up, dude? Good to see you, man. It's good because newer traders can use limit grid orders, and if the trade goes against you to start with, it ends up working in your favor, because that's how a grid system works. If you can pick the trend. Yeah, you can also get stuck though, and that's one of the concerns, right? Like, let's say like you get in, it can keep buying down, right? Like, I've had to do the only reason like I have a concern and I don't necessarily jump on it is I had a buddy who got stuck in a trade for a really, really long time, and I think like he waited, gosh man, it may have been more than like a year to get out of it. I'd have to talk to him again. I just remember him being stuck in it for a really long time. All right, we'll talk about being wrong about this one. So I was like, I would not take a long here. I was wrong. Going down into it, I saw CVD aggressively moving down. Open interest was still kind of going up, but it did go horizontal. But I don't know, it did bend over a little bit. Sometimes the hard part is figuring out where people, what's dictating open interest. Are they exiting their positions? You know, are they starting to get into their position? Now, I know that's exactly what it tells you, but the thing is, it has a lot to do with the trend too, and what part of the trend are you in, and what is having that influence on open interest. So, and the reason I say that is something like this, right? Trends up in terms of price action. As people close the trades, right, the expectation is to see open interest bend over, right? That's what makes sense. As they close the trades, you'll start seeing that. This was just crazy aggressive. I mean, look at this though, the CVD. But anyways, so that's kind of the expectation there. And then as they start to figure out which direction they want to go, then as that bias kind of develops, you start seeing open interest go in that direction. This is telling me that people are closing positions right now though. But so back to what I was saying is when they start to align, and when I say that, like, let's say you got a clear trend here with like CVD, yet open interest is still kind of going up. Well, so positions are being open, I got it, but shorts are still more aggressive. And so that's where you get into this, like, something's not aligning, right? Like, you did get a nice little pullback here, right? You got the divergence. We talked about that earlier. Price is going up, CVD is going down, open interest is going up. That makes sense. See a rejection. That made a lot of sense. But now we start ranging, we're kind of going back and forth, and it's like you're trying to figure out where you're at relative to like where people are going to be closing, where you're going to start looking for the absorption. You know, within the context of this current move here, this current range, that's always the interesting part. In a short. All right. Yep. You run a tight grid with stop losses and TPs like normal trades. I got you. Yeah, I'm not super savvy with grid trading, I'll be honest with you. I never really jumped into that game. I've done it a couple of times, just like I throw like my trial funds at it, just like, hey, go. I think we're going up. I think we're going down. I've done well every time, but I never took the time to really learn it. So therefore I mostly avoid it, to be honest. It's more because my stupidity more than anything. House of Trades is in a short, huh? All right. Just got an order that popped up over above you. Let's go down to the minutes. Open interest starting to go horizontal. Yeah, it's kind of tough, dude. It's kind of tough. Zoom out to the 15. Let's get rid of that. I mean, the trend right now for the last week is up. I feel like my bias should be towards up. But another revisit down to this horizontal level, I'm not opposed to that. Yeah, even the 15-minute, the CBD is still pointing down. Oh. All right. Looks like things are starting to build over on the DOM as well. 74.6. I don't know, man. I don't know. All right. We've been getting rugged all year. Hard to find conviction in longs. Yeah, no doubt, man. No doubt. That's funny. Let's see. What is the measurement from where we're at to the top there? 0.17. That would be a pretty tight stop. Yeah, that's, I mean, but that's such a clear horizontal, man. I mean, the only room I would have is a scalp. And I don't think that's really worth going from here to here. For a 0.14%. Not saying that's going to hold up. I just, at this point, like, that would be an area that I would look for, you know, a bounce. So structurally, I try to always stay within, like, now if we were to lose this, then I would think a lot more about it. Because you're flipping the support into resistance. So if you get that retest, right, come down to, I guess, this is the VWAP here, but I don't know that that's where the VWAP it is. Okay, it's pretty close. It's a problem. Like, everything's kind of like so close right now. You just bounce off of random stuff. So you have the VWAP right there. And I don't know that that's enough of a move from here to here. Actually, 0.4, I'm not against that. What do we measure this out to? That's 0.3. I might look at that. If we lose that level, where are we? Where are we? Nope, that's not the one. This is the one. So if we lose this horizontal here, and get below that, get a little retest, maybe look for a little move down just to the VWAP. Just keep a tight stop above the horizontal level. That might be something. Yeah, you can get a 2-to-1 in there for sure. What's the stop is super tight though. You can stop that on that super easy. That gives you, yeah, but that doesn't. That's your 2.55 right there. Crazy tight stop at 0.16%. But with the way I've been trading, like with the amount of volume I'm pushing, because like, bro, I'll full bag it. Not think twice about it. You got to have really tight stops. Dang, we lost the music. Let's get that going again. There we go. All right, fam. Feel like I'm running out of juice here. So one of the things you guys should be looking for here, I know I've been saying it a lot, but I'm going to be moving, I think, everything over to Alex's Discord. That's the plan right now. The hard thing is with that is being respectful of the fact that it's his Discord, but at the same time, like, everyone's got to eat. So it's hard to like shill things. Like I gotta talk to him a little bit more, because I got those things that are coming up for 2-bit with the trading competitions and stuff like that. Gotta make sure that everything's all Gucci. I'm sure it is, but want to make sure. Gotta always be respectful. Someone else's space, someone else's money, right? So the way that is gonna work though is when I go over to Alex's Discord. If you guys are already in Alex's Discord, you'll have access to everything I'm doing, and a lot of it's gonna be like some of the automation type stuff. We've already got a bot too. We have this thing called Bandit Bot, and what that does is essentially you can pick whatever trader you want in the Discord, like if you like one of them or all of them, and when they put their signal out there, like if you like HRJ or FJ or CBO, any of those guys, if you like the way they trade, you'll get the role for that person, and then you'll link your exchange, and this thing will take the trades for you. It's like copy trading almost. It's all built into the Discord and through API system, and so it's pretty cool. We're working on. I mean, that's actually pretty much already done. It's just a matter of putting it in the Discord. We're forward testing it, but I think it's should be good at this point. Need squid juice? Dude, I'm running out of juice, man. I'm tired. My eye hurts too. I think I told you guys last show I got hit in the eye with. I didn't get poked in the eye. I got hit in the eye with a freaking soccer ball, because I play soccer probably like twice a week. And dude blasted me in the face, man. Like my eyeball still hurts. It's crazy. Dude, I'm telling you, man. CBD still working down. Overall, it's looking pretty yuck. Yucky Mandu. Go away. I don't want it anymore. Why won't that go? Can't even click it. There we go. House of Trades, man. I might jump on a little something with you. As soon as I say that. Doop. Alright. Coming down to that horizontal. I just prefer to lose this horizontal. But of course, that means my entry is worse. Always got to be careful of the minute. Gets you excited sometimes. It's the only part about discretionary trading, man. Entered on ETH at 2334. Let me look at ETH real quick. I think that's what it was at when I looked at it earlier. Oh, it should be up here actually. 2334. So right around here. Yeah, you're sitting all right now. Just trying to VWAP. Under the moving averages, under VWAP, but I mean, that's where you want to be. Yeah, man, bounced right off the orb. I know it's not usually a thing that I look at for Ethereum, but interesting enough. Let's just go back. Yeah, the only thing that like concerns me with ETH right now is like you can see, you know, a little bit of a trend working its way up, even though we've already pushed up, nice little pullback. But what did it do? It just started building strength again. So if you lose this, you know, for me, that's more of a confirmation. Right now, you're actually, I mean, argument to be had that, you know, you're kind of forming a pennant there, but not a big fan of pennants. You guys do the math, do the research, and you're under a high volume area node, by the way, so that's good for you for now. Where are you looking to exit at? French Toaster, what's up, dude? Good to see you, man. I got you 2334 is your entry. Where are you looking to exit? I'd say 2307 looks like a decent spot. Just based on the horizontal. Just looking here. Rejection, move up, impulse move through the zone, come back down, retest it multiple times. Looks like a strong level. But you could really develop into some consolidation or range in there. Wick's wife in the house. What up, lady? Good to see you. So interesting. So there is an order directly under price action right now. Not a big one. Only a couple hundred. But it is there. Harvesting squid for the barbecue. On the test of the 200 MA on the 15-minute. Okay. That's right. You like those moving averages. You got a different way of trading them, man, for sure. Let's see. 15-minute. All right. Oh, so 200 is way down here. I mean, it's working aggressively up. I mean, you might at some point have some confluence between this horizontal. I would definitely at least draw the horizontal there just to keep an eye on it, only because you've seen so much price action that revolves around it, both resistance and support, at about 2307, and you know, further that by if the 200 continues to work its way up, you may have some confluence in that area as well. So keep an eye on that. But right now, like I said, man, the thing that worries me, for Ethereum at least, is that you've kind of developed this little trend on the smaller time frames, kind of keeping that momentum a little bit. But you good news, under high volume, under moving averages, under VWAP. Bad news, it wicked right off that area, like that trend line. So you're getting a little squeeze, man. Kind of decision time for Ethereum. See what bitty looks like. 15-minute. Got fibs on top of fibs right now. This is tough. But again, CVD is just telling me. I mean, shorts are still on 74.8. So yeah, this is kind of my area of concern right here. Finding support in that level, and that's just a clear horizontal. Nothing really behind it besides that. But you can just see how price action has really respected that level. So I would love to see something like this, where you get that impulse move down, comes up, test that level, and then look for that move down. That would be something I would want to jump in on. But I'm just wondering if I should front run it now. I mean, like, and the only reason I'm leaning towards that is because CVD is just pushing down. Like, it's ranging, but CVD is clearly showing that shorts are more aggressive. Open interest starting to bend over, so our people are starting to exit and take profit. You know, that's something to consider. So taking profits, and then you got shorts kind of being aggressive. What's that down to? 74. 329. It's only $100 move. $74,329. So that would be 329. Would be okay. So yeah, you got a little range there. Problem is, the top of that is right about here. Let's do a box. There we go. I think I put it in the right spot. There we go. That's the one. CBD standing for China Violent Dump today. Uh-oh. Something going on? I haven't even really looked at the news, man. Anything going on in the world today? Let's get rid of that. We don't need that. Let's see. Let's go to X. See what old Watcher Guru's got. issue joint guidance confirming most crypto assets are not securities. Okay. CFTC issues clarity for non-custodial crypto wallet providers to facilitate trades. Providers facilitate trades, okay? Well, maybe that's why you saw a little push up today. The thing is, they know that before you know that. So they get ahead of you, push the price up, then the news comes out, then they take profits on you. Issue joint guidance confirming most crypto assets are not securities. Okay, that's, I guess, good. Clarification follows earlier SEC guidance issue. Cool. Why would you... Your tweet within your... That's ridiculous. After a decade of uncertainty. Cool. Now they just need to do that American, the one where like you don't get taxed on your capital gains for like American cryptos. God. Oh man, that would be amazing. Important bridge for investors as Congress works to advance bipartisan market structure legislation. Cool. Pro crypto, got it. All right. How it's classified. The asset class has often been viewed as a security or a commodity, yet both sides have very different ramifications and have a massive impact on how they're governed. All right, tracking on that. Okay. Most crypto assets. Most. Because I just read something today about they're trying to go after staking for like stable coins. Dude, it's so confusing, man. Non-custodial crypto wallet providers to facilitate trades. And what is that clarity? Issues clarity. Okay, what is the clarity? It's a worthless tweet. Let's go back. Do we want that? Where are we at? 74.5. $72.9. What would that be? $72.9. So right there. I mean, that's not a bad horizontal. But you just got a lot of stuff to work through. Dusty Hunt, what up, man? I am just sus. I feel like this push is to build up liquid below for big rug incoming. The macro looks too shady for us to keep pumping. Yeah, dude, I mean, you're not wrong. you're not wrong. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world, man, and it's not good. That is for sure. I mean, there's a lot of stuff with like the economy too. Like people are getting pretty sour on that from, you know, multiple viewpoints. Like real estate, like they're talking like 2008 again. Like I'm not saying that that's going to happen. I don't know if that's just news to get people interested in listening to whatever someone has to say. But, you know, there is a cyclical nature to a lot of this stuff too. But I'll say my perspective. My perspective is you got a lot of people into loans that had no business getting into the loans that they got into. And now 2008 was a little bit different, but this is the issue, right? Think about the mortgage of a lot of people that are getting into loans right now, and think about the interest rate where it was, where it's at now, and the inflation, right? So the housing market has gone up significantly, okay? Especially at least where I'm at in SoCal. The housing market's gone up, and then you have a 6% interest rate. So for the house that I'm in right now, let's see here. Nah, I'm not gonna do that. I don't want to. I don't give it too much of my information away. But let's just say that it would cost me probably, I'd say 60 to 70% more a month than what I'm paying right now. I'm not gonna say I'm priced out of my own house, but I'm pretty close to it. But people have continued to kind of jump into these houses, and the thing is, like, your wage doesn't necessarily correlate to that, right? So, because remember, when you got into a house initially, you're looking at it, you're like, yo, I'm only gonna do this much. This is kind of my cap right now. And then these people are like jumping into these new houses because they really don't have any choice, especially if they move, they get a new job, whatever the case may be. They kind of get cornered, and they have to take on these bigger mortgages that are just unreasonable, I think, right? Like if you're thinking about taking a mortgage that's, out here, you're talking $4,500 is probably going to be like your baseline mortgage. Let's think about that. Okay, so $4,500. And let's do quick stuff here. Sorry, you can't see the calculator, but let's say 4,500 times 12. That's cash money out of your pocket. So that's $54,000 out of your pocket. That means post-tax. Now, if you're saying, you get taxed at maybe 40% out here, all in all, maybe closer, maybe higher. But let's say 40%, so that means, you got to make like $90,000 in money from your job, your actual job. You got to make $90,000 just to afford your mortgage. That doesn't include utilities. That doesn't include taxes. It doesn't include freaking anything, your car payment. How do you even get to work? All right, so now you got to add all that stuff in there. And trust me, that stuff adds up too. And that just keeps going up. You're looking at, like, I would say realistically, like, to survive. And I didn't even include food, because damn, food is expensive as hell and gas is expensive as hell. You're looking at, you got to make reasonably, like, to survive, 140. I'd say 140 out here where I live. So what happens when you're making that $140,000 a year and you get hurt? Most people don't have insurance. And, some employers do offer some type of insurance to cover you. They do. A lot of people don't use it or take advantage of it. But what happens if you get hurt? What happens if your company downsizes? What happens? There's so many different variables. Maybe you have to take a leave of absence. Like, there's so many different variables. I think there's going to be, at some point, I think there's going to be a little bit of a cascading effect. And I think you're already kind of starting to see signs of it now, at least out here, because you are seeing houses stay on the market for way longer. Like 40 to 50 days is nothing, where, dude, that stuff was getting snatched up. You're getting offers in on houses, cash money, in like a week, 2 weeks, probably a few years ago. So the market has shifted for sure. And so like, again, like it all ties together. Yeah, inflation's through the roof, right? I mean, no matter what, I know, hey, there's a conflict going on, which drives prices up. But here or there, gas prices are through the freaking roof. You know, for us to fill up the tank, my wife's vehicle, almost $120. Almost $120 for a tank of gas. Bro, I remember somebody used to give me $5 and be like, hey, can you give me a ride somewhere? That would give me a half tank of gas. Granted, 2 different vehicles, but still, a half tank of gas. Like $5 meant something. It meant something. Not no more. Should I get a 6-pack of Gatorades for $5? You can barely get one now. All right, so looking, we did come down to the horizontal. See, that was my debate. I was like, man, should I just get in here and look for that play? I'm scared. I'm scared of this horizontal, man. Even though most of it's telling me, don't worry about it. CVD still kind of working its way down. Open interest starting to bend over. I think people are starting to exit positions, take profits, and CVD. So I think people are coming into shorts, man. That's my gut. My gut is that people are starting to pile into shorts right now. You definitely see a little bit more in terms of passive, orders above CVD again. Open interest, yeah. It's tough. It's tough. The one thing I don't like is this damn horizontal sitting right here. I just don't like that. Mark Dutch in the house. What up, man? Mortgage is overrated. I sold everything. It's just me and my money and Tinder dates from now. Leave it to Mark. Leave it to Mark. $5 footlongs, hell yeah. Yo, I got a a pool behind like camper. Dude, you guys want to see this? Let you into my life a little bit. Let's see here. I want to see my little pool behind camper I got. 2026 Coleman. There it is. This is what life has come to. People that are gonna watch this after the fact are gonna be like, what in the hell? Is this guy trading or what? So it's super small, but it's like, it's pretty well designed in a sense. Now Coleman, not the best. I know that. They're the cheap. They're the cheapy cheaps, but I am cheapy cheap. There you go. So outside, cool, nothing crazy, but the setup is where it's at. The setup's where it's at. Check this out. Is this the 13? Yeah, it is. Okay, so pretty cool. Now the thing that I like is this one right here. Is you have this little couch, right? Little like, it's a gosh, what is that? Jackknife couch. A jackknife couch is what they call it. So you can pull it out and it turns into a little bed. So I have 2 kids. So my daughter is able to sleep down there. And then this right here is actually a bed. So during the day, like you kind of have like 2 setups, right? During the day, you got a couch to sit on. You got some chairs to put right here. You got this little table where 2 people can actually sit and like eat. And then we have the little fold out tables, right? So you can just put those right there in front of you, right? So like you have a place to eat, which is to me cool. You got a place to sit and eat, right? What more do you need? In my mind, if you're going camping, you're supposed to be outside most of the time, but you got a comfortable place to sleep. But then you got this bed that folds down too, right? So it folds down. Let's see if it shows you. That's it again. Does it show you? I don't know if it shows you when the bed's folded down. All good. You'll have to trust me on that. This folds out, and this bed right here folds down. So my son, he can sleep up here. He's about my height. But he can fit on there pretty comfortably. Got an AC in there. It's got a little fireplace down there. And then, of course, you know, comfortable, a little bit closer than we want to be, probably. Bed for me and the wife right there. So one of the things that people do is they add a little wood piece here, and they actually make it so it's more square, so that it's a little bit more normal in terms of the size of it. But it's got a little bathroom right in there in the back. It's a wet bath, but again, something's better than nothing. But yeah, man, pretty excited. We're gonna go use that probably in a couple weekends. We're gonna go down by the beach. We got some friends that reserved a lot already, so should be a good time. And then I'm gonna use it personally for my 9 to 5. All right, what do we got? A bunch of messages. Oh, look at that bounce. Told you I was scared of that area. That was my paws, man. And you got some bullish news that just dropped, I guess, right? My big thing though, see, this was like my confliction here, is this big move for CVD, but like when you zoom out, I guess overall in the 15 minute, it's still pushing up. You just had that kind of intermediate, or I guess on the smaller time frames. All in all, like overall trend, she's pushing up, but there was a small opportunity there, but I would have had to see it. Like I said, it had to break that horizontal for me. Right now, all we've done is retest it, flipping what was resistance into support for now. And that's why for me, like I wouldn't be comfortable getting in the short yet. Like I would like to see it lose that horizontal level. And if I get a little retest of that horizontal level and I'm getting the CVD and the open interest kind of aligning with me, then I take the short. But we're not there yet. Not in my mind. Well, just blew through all that. We can get rid of that now. When Bitcoin move, it move. All right. Well, that was good. Good not getting my ass whooped on a live stream. So, all right, fam. I think I'm gonna bounce out of here. Kids will never forget it. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. I'm really excited to just get out. My daughter, like me and her have been snowboarding. She's like infatuated with snowboarding. I got her a sick little snowboard. So I think we're gonna go up to Mammoth, if you guys have ever heard that. That's a really nice mountain out here in SoCal. I think we're gonna go out there. So it should be good, man. Should be dope. But great bed for spooning. Yeah, dude. Yeah. You know it. All right. I'm gonna get out of here, guys. No trades. Sorry. Boring. But you got to see into my life a little bit. So hope all is well with y'all. Hope y'all have a good one. I want to get out of here. I'm tired. You can see I'm struggling. I'm struggling for work. I don't usually stream for 2 hours. This is outside of my comfort zone. But all right. Yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. Hope everyone has a great day. Thank you for being here. Thank you for spending your time with me. Please do give me a like. I did spit some alpha earlier. Other than that, I was talking about campers and, you know, slapping that VWAP. But other than that, yeah. You guys have a good night. Thank you. Take care. As always, trade safe. Be safe. I'm out.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. You got a mind, but even that could change. You could flip the gray matter like some batter in your brain. That's why they say, fake it till you make it A. And if you play that game, then you just might make a change. Rearrange all the bad to okay. Take the worst thoughts saying, turn them to a game. Take the best thoughts saying, put them on display. On repeat in your brain till you're feeling no more pain. Never slow yourself down, you can do some more. Push past all the pain and you'll find a door. Open it up and finally explore everything that you thought you could never do before. And even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, go.